Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing today? It is Wednesday, and that means that we are here with our Pro-Am class for Roving Island World Tour 2 North America Edition presented by DDR. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, D-Dot Racing handing this one down the line from the United Kingdom here for us to shake up North America style. So, it is Red Bull Ring here today on the docket, round number 7, and all the way to Austria. So it is a real-world circuit with a tarmac surface. It appeared in Gran Turismo 6 after an update, Gran Turismo Sport after an update, and of course Gran Turismo 7 upon release of the game. And real-life fastest lap is a 105.6 in a McLaren in 2020, so very recently that lap record was put down here at Red Bull Ring. Alright, let's bust it out. Let's go through our settings. I don't know highlights. I didn't have time to make them due to the maintenance I was working on last night. We'll get them up on the YouTube channel here probably this evening after the race sometime, so I do apologize, but it is what it is. We got to do the maintenance. Qualifying settings are as same as per race conditions. However, tonight is a little bit different. We're not qualifying. Tonight, these drivers are going to get set on the grid in a reverse order based off the championship standings. It is a BOP on no tuning series. It's any Group 3 except for the Toyotas and any VGTs. Our boost is turned off. The grid start with a false start check, and damage is on. Heavy slipstream strength is real. The drivers start with a full tank of fuel at race start, and they're only allowed traction control and the anti-lock braking system. Of course, track edge is real. All of our grips and all of that great stuff are as realistic, of course, as we can get it all series long, and the drivers must use the required tire for at least one full timed lap here on the racetrack. Our penalty settings, our shortcut penalties are on weak. We have no wall or car contact penalties turned on. We do that with racing officials behind the scenes post race week. What else do we got here? Right, no, there's no no correcting the car after wall contact. There's also no replacing car after leaving track surface either. It's up to the drivers to get control of their car and get it back on track safely. We use flag rules, and of course our pit line penalties are turned on here as well in the series. So Red Bull Ring here tonight, and it's going to be a 1-hour endurance race here tonight for all of our Pro-Am drivers, and all 3 racing tires are mandatory. The racing hards, the racing mediums, and those racing soft tires here tonight, and we're stepping it up a bit. It's ×5 tire and ×5 fuel consumption here in the race, which means every time that the guys go around the racetrack here for 1 lap, they're using 5 laps worth of fuel and 5 laps worth of tire wear on those racing cars here tonight, and it is a double points round. So it is S01, dry, cloudy, and pleasant. It's evening time conditions, and it's a ×8 weather variable. What is up, Paul? How are you doing, my guy? We got Cody and Method coming in with the likes on the stream there as well. Paul coming in with that heart on the stream. We're just checking on everything here. Everything's looking pretty good. Fantastic. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling through our intel then, shall we? We're going to knock this down. Now, as you can see on the screen in front of you, we have our racetrack Red Bull Ring here tonight, and we're going to do a little walkthrough on Red Bull Ring here, as we still have a few minutes to go before we got to get this race underway here for everybody tonight. So, I apologize about the missed pro race last night. That will be done tomorrow evening at around the same time here as always, and we'll bring all that action to everybody that we missed here last night. The race did run as scheduled in behind the scenes, and we'll get that live action to everybody at the beginning. Alright, so it's a 2.68 mile racetrack, 4.3 kilometers, has 10 left and right hand turns, again, tarmac road surface, and it is a real world circuit, and it does have an elevation change of 214 feet here at Red Bull Ring. So on the bottom right hand center is just start finish line there. From there the drivers head towards the left side of the screen, turn 1, the Nicky Lottie curve, very tough 90-degree uphill undulating corner. From there we run up a very lengthy straightaway, little kink, which is considered as turn 2 here at Red Bull Ring, and then that takes us into Remus, turn number 3, Remus, I'm not sure how to pronounce that properly. From there that takes us down to the right top hand side of our track map to turn number 4, Shaw's Gold, and then that's not quite a, it's like 100, maybe 105-degree radius corner, very difficult corner, moving downhill as well. From there, we come around another slight corner, corner number 5, and that takes us into Roush to enter the S sector. From there, that takes us into turn 7, the Worth curve, takes us up through a little set of S's uphill, and then a straight little run to the final 2 corners here in right, and Red Bull Mobile corners 9 and 10 here, and then that takes us right back down to the start finish line for a quick lap here around Red Bull Ring. So what are we going to see here at Red Bull Ring? Well, we'll see about anywhere between a minute 28 to a minute 30 laps on the softest tires, and then of course a little bit slower on each tire compound that goes up to hardest. From there, our racing mediums should be anywhere between the 29s and the 31s, and our racing hards should be anywhere between the 30s and the 33s. Suspected. We'll have to see what our pro-ams have in store for us here tonight, though. And while we wait here, I'm going to get the grid set up right now. It looks like we're only missing one driver here tonight. Where can I download Miss Devious' track guides? I would love to print these out and put them on my wall. Reach out to Miss Devious through the Discord server, Paul, and just ask her for permission. Alright, so I had to put you down here for a second so I could set the grid, ladies and gentlemen, so just bear with me here for a second. This is going to take a couple of minutes. I got to get into our standings document to start with. Alright. Alright, we're going to do some lobby resets and then Alright, so we're going to do 2 lobby resets here because I noticed something last night in our pro race, which you guys will see tomorrow. We didn't get the beginning of our race settings, so alright, lobby is reset, so now we'll just give the drivers a chance to check back in, and then we'll set that grid, and we'll get to racing here, ladies and gentlemen. So there is no qualifying tonight. We're just going to get right back at it to a 1-hour race here today. Alright, so let's go ATB, Workham Silly Homie. Yo, let's go. What's up, TDC? Glad to see you back. Hey, appreciate you, Chris. Paulie B. Good luck, racers. This should be a good race tonight. Hey, it will. It will most certainly be a good race here tonight. We're going to see lots of different strategies here tonight, so just waiting for 3 drivers to check in here, and we can get that grid up. Alright, so Miss Devious is just communicating with the drivers here right now. Of course, our race control official here again tonight. Got Edward coming in with the thumbs up, Kilt coming in with the thumbs up as well. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. 13 players have entered. Alright, let's get a grid set. Alright, so it's going to be Lucky Alpha on pole here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. From there, it's going to be Nolander sitting in 2nd place here on the grid. After Nolander, in 3rd place is going to be Shredda, VPR driver here. Going to be getting himself a nice good starting position in this 1-hour endurance race here. From there, it is going to be CB Murph from VPR Racing sitting in 4th place, lined up beside his teammate there. To start row 3 off is going to be Agent Orange from VPR as well here. So we got 3 VPR drivers all in beside each other. And then from there, we've got THG's Sticky Bandit coming up in 6th place. We'll have Trone, Kobe, and Miguel following those two up in row 4 here as well. So the Humble Guys Racing and a VPR driver. From there, it's going to be TT's Egon in 9th position. It's going to be ATK's Death in 10th place in behind Egon. And then that leaves our top 3 in the standings. It's going to be Fast Ginger, meaning he's 3rd overall in our standings coming into the round here today. That's going to put Apex's Guardian in 12th position to start, and that's going to put the VPR CB Matt, our championship points leader, here in our final position. And we're just going to verify that it's correct. We got Merch, we got Orange, we've got Sticky, we got Trone. We've got Miguel. We've got Egon, Death, Ginger. All right. Oh, we're sorry to hear it, Christian. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you, my guy. We're sorry to hear, my dude. My condolences to you and your family, brother. All right. Drivers are ready. We're ready to go. The grid is good to go. Let's go racing, chat. Just gonna, I know I'm not gonna forget to flip the screen. I already know what you're all thinking. There we go. Screen flipped. Howdy, gentlemen. Sorry to hear that, man. Hey, Chris. Appreciate you, my guy. I did not forget. I did not forget. We just haven't transitioned it yet. Alright. Let's go get that tidbit. Let's get the juicies up. Alright, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be Lucky Alpha to start things off on pole position here. And we are getting ready to go racing. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody sitting there watching at home, we appreciate you all. Kick them tires, light the fires. Let's go racing. And we're green, 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 green. Do we all get clean start here? If we do, we're going to go 4 and 3 wide here. We got guys trying to warm some tires up here, heading into the corner. So here we go. And boy, it was really dark on the racetrack there, wasn't it? This Lucky Alpha here gets the nice good hole shot here, stays in the lead. Nolander in 2nd. We got Shredda in 3rd, Merch in 4th, Orange in 5th. Trone there, Sticky up the inside here with Egon on the outside. Egon's in Trone slipstream here as we head to turn 3. Surviving turn 1 is one thing. Now everybody needs to survive turn 3 here at race start. And this is a difficult turn on cold racing tires as well. Looks like everybody handles it quite well. Egon holds strong there in 8th. We got ATB there in 9th. We got Ginger in 10th position there. We've got Death here in 11th place. We've got Matt here in 12th position. We got Miguel here in 13th, and we see him flashing his lights there, so maybe a little displeased with something that was happening there. We had full sun. I know you guys did. I reset the lobby twice and everything. I typed out in chat already. Appreciate you guys. So it is Lucky Alpha here leading the way on lap 1. That looked like a pretty good clean race start here from our Pro-Ams, so it's going to be interesting to see the strategies that come out from all these drivers here. We're seeing quite a few different tire compounds on the racing track here tonight as well, so it's very interesting to see how this is all going to shake out at the end of the race here. I'm just taking a look. I'm not going to announce it, so we'll let the viewers take a look there at home as well. And then we'll just get back to doing what we're doing here. Well, let's go, Nolander. Keep it steady, bro. Let's grow. Alright, Lucky Alpha still in the lead here. We got Nolander tucked in right in behind here in 2nd place. Everybody's staying cool, calm, and collected here so far on the racetrack. We got Shredda here closing in. Pardon me, in 3rd place. We got CB Merch still holding strong there in 4th place. He's got teammate Agent Orange tucked right up underneath here. So Porsche and Porsche. Really great combination here for these two drivers that they can make that work and keep them nice and close to that pack up in front. Maybe even get some positions out of the deal here too. We'll have to keep our eye on that. We got Sticky Bandit and Egon side by side heading into turn 3 here, and Sticky Bandit's going to hold strong there. Egon's going to settle out in 7th place, and Trone's going to just fall back to 8th place here for the time being. Early on in the race start, we got ATK's Death here in 9th position, 4th in the championship standings. We got Ginger here in 10th place. Got a half-second track limit penalty there. That serves that once he comes up through the uphill S's. We got CB Matt right in behind, looking to take advantage of that half-second penalty, and ATB right there in 12th place, just in behind him as well, also looking to take advantage of that penalty. So Ginger's probably going to lose a couple of spots here when he takes that penalty. Miguel, I don't think is quite close enough to take advantage here, so we will probably see Fast Ginger drop down into 12th place after serving that penalty. I was crying in the shower. It's all right, my dude. It's okay to be upset about that, man. It is totally okay to be upset, my guy. Don't be ashamed for caring about somebody that you just lost, my dude. Alright, so it's Lucky Alpha here in the lead. We've got Nolander here in second place. We got Shredda here in third place. We got CB Merch here in fourth. We've got Agent Orange in fifth. We've got Sticky Bandit here in sixth position. We've got Egon chasing, closing in here a little bit in seventh place. We got Trone Kobe and ATK's Death Nose to Tail here in eighth and ninth place. And we're starting to develop little 2x2 packs here early on in the race. We got CB Matt and ATB, who did get around Ginger after serving that penalty, which I suspected. Very close together here, still nose to tail, and Fast Ginger here in 12th place, just off the back end of those two as well. Miguel here in 13th position, and moving on down the racetrack quite nicely here. Scott coming in with that thumbs up, Chris coming in with the thumbs up as well. Oh my, I'm missing all kinds of chat here. It's alright, just remember all the good things, my guy. You just gotta remember all the good times. That's what keeps it strong. That's what always keeps it alive up in your mind, in your soul, your body. It'll hurt for a little bit, my dude, and that's just normal. It's part of the grieving process, my dude. You know, never hesitate to reach out and talk about it. It makes it a little bit easier sometimes. Alright, CB Merch here in fourth place, closing in on Shredder. So Shredder lost touch a little bit there with Nolander. Lucky Alpha is starting to pull away pretty good there up in the front here with that GTR there as well. The Egon here up in sixth place has managed to work his way around Sticky Bandit here. Sticky Bandit now down into seventh. ATK Death there in eighth place. He's worked his way around Trone as well, so Trone's down into ninth here. Oh, it looks like we lost Miguel. Isn't that lovely? We have CB Matt here in 10th position, and he is under, no, it's Fast Ginger looking up the inside of ATB here as we head up into Nicky Lottie Curve there, and a little bit of confusion between the two, maybe potential contact there between the two as Fast Ginger seemed to have given the position back up. So we did have a disconnect there from Miguel very early on in the race there, and that will be a 13th place finish for him here tonight. Mid-pack's always popping off, my dude, it always does. So it's Lucky Alpha 2.7 seconds up ahead of Nolander here, currently sitting in second place. He's got just under a second here from Shredda coming into the corner, but it'll go back up to a second once he gets up to power there. No, 8/10, so Shredda gaining a little bit there in that McLaren. We got CB Merch here in the Porsche in fourth place, and he's looking real strong here so far. We got Agent Orange in fifth. We got Egon here in sixth place, and he's 1.6 seconds now to Sticky Bandit here, chasing in seventh position. We've got ATK's Death here in eighth place, and closing in on Sticky Bandit a little bit here. Got that down to about 1.4 seconds. We got Trone here in ninth position. He's got CB Matt now applying some pressure here. This is McLaren versus McLaren, and ATB's just off this a little bit by about a second in behind those drivers. And Fast Ginger just tucked right in behind him here, so the backpack very close together here as well very early on in this race. And CB Matt just checking up a little tiny bit there as he came in a little hot to Trone's back end. That was a great racing awareness right there by CB Matt. And yeah, this is going to be a good race right here between these three right here, especially Fast Ginger, CB Matt, and ATB, I think, all race long. I suspect they will probably stay relatively close to each other here as well, unless a mistake is made by these drivers. They are our championship's point leaders, however, or with that being said, and being very patient right now in the back of the pack. So it's Alpha here in first place still. It's almost 3 seconds now to Nolander in second place. He's still managing that gap to Shredda here right now. He's got just about 8/10 of a second here as we head into turn 3. And this is where Shredda really closed up last time on Nolander, and he's going to do it again there. He gains 2.5 tenths right coming out of the corner, and he's got it down to 6/10 of a second gap here now, and he's still got CB Merch right there in behind in fourth place too. Oh, he's going to take a little look up the inside there, CB Merch, and we're going to have a battle here for third place between the two drivers. No. CB Merch is just getting some clean air, just showing there, maybe seeing if the Shredder's going to make a mistake, and he does make a bit of a mistake there. CB Merch gets a good run coming uphill the S's here, but he's going to tuck back in behind that McLaren for the time being, and he goes for the old switcheroo, moves up into the inside line here as we head into turn 9, and they're still side by side, so heading into Red Bull Mobile corner here now, and CB Merch is going to get the job done there. A little bit of contact between the two drivers there, but it looks like no harm, no foul, no penalty was picked up there, so good hard racing right there between those two. Agent Orange here in 5th place. He's 1.3 seconds off that battle happening in front of him there right now. And then we've got Egon here in 6th position, and 3.6 seconds down the road we got Sticky Bandit here in 7th position, and ATK Death is right there. And oh boy, we got a yellow flag up ahead. One of the drivers that just went through the corner here, making a mistake on the racetrack potentially. And let's go see if we can figure out who it was here. Could have been Egon. Well, it may have been Sticky Bandit potentially here, as that yellow flag's still going here. So you can see ATK Death really closed up on Sticky Bandit there. So I think it was Sticky Bandit that had a little mistake coming through corner 1 there. Tron Kobe back up into 8th position here now, and ATB is right there in behind in 9th place. So 9th, 10th, and 11th are championship points leaders, starting to kind of try and make their way up through the field a little bit here. CB Matt is now up into 9th place as the live timing's messing with us. Oh, it was Shredda causing the yellow flag there potentially. Oh, Shredda coming all the way from 3rd place down into 12th position there. So we're not sure what happened to him, but he doesn't have any damage on that racing car. So unfortunate there for Shredda coming with whatever that caused that mistake there, coming all the way from 3rd place. Pro-Am got lucky. You're right, Leo, they did. You're so right, my dude. Hey, great racing. We appreciate you, Paul. Alright, so it's Nolander now in the lead of the race here, and where did Alpha go here? Alpha making a mistake there as well, so Nolander's now in the race lead, our 2nd race leader here tonight. I'll put CB Merch up in the 2nd place, and Lucky Alpha all the way down into 3rd place here, and some front aero damage on that racing car to go with it here now, so he is going to be under fire here for the remainder of this first stint unless he opts to fix that damage. And in his position, I don't know if that's the right thing to be doing here right now. We'll see how long he chooses to run that out for, but Agent Orange here in 4th place, and it should be not too much of an issue for him to find his way around that wounded car up in front right now. Egon closing in here in 5th place as well. He's got the gap down to 1.6 seconds on Agent Orange, so he's very slowly but surely reeling those two drivers in up front there. Hey, what is up, Anthony? How you doing, my dude? Coming in with that like and that share on the stream. We appreciate you, my guy. Sticky Bandit here in 6th position, and oof, a little bit of contact there from Death, and Death just holds up there. He's going to give Sticky back to position here as he comes up into the S's here, and he didn't mean to make that contact there with them, and you can tell immediately by Death's reaction there, he's going to give the position back to Sticky, and they'll re-engage this battle here again. So whoopsie doodles, but race goes on between these two guys, and no damage done to either car either, so no harm, no foul there, and they'll re-engage that battle whatever it is that happens here again. CB Matt here in 8th place, and boy, he takes a lot of curb there, and I think that's going to pay him with a half-second penalty, unfortunately. We'll have to see what happens. Yes, sir. And that won't be served until next time around, obviously. There's so Fast Ginger here now in 9th place, and tucked right in there, we got Troen here in 10th, we got Shredda in 11th place, and we've got ATB here in 12th place, and looks like he made a pit stop there, so a little bit of a different strategy coming here, and ATB is our first driver to make a pit stop. Hey, we're doing good, Anthony. Hope you're doing great too, my dude. Hope you're having a swell day down there in that great continent that you live on there. Alright, so Nolander, 1.5 seconds up the road from CB Merch right now. CB Merch doing a good job at maintaining that gap. It's 2.8 seconds in behind him is Agent Orange. Agent Orange was catching up here, but seems to be falling off here. Oh, right, yeah. He was catching up to Lucky Alpha, which has made his way around. Now he's moved up into the podium positions here. My mistake. Lucky Alpha here doing everything he can here. Just holding strong till that next pit stop so we can get that racing car in better shape here. We got Egon closing in 0.8 of a second as they come through the S's. Death has made his way around Sticky Bandit here now, so Sticky Bandit in 7th position. We got CB Matt here in 8th. We've got Fast Ginger here in 9th place, and Drone Kobe and Shredda putting some pressure on here. So Shredder looking on the outside of the S's there. Shredder gets the job done, makes up a couple positions there since his incident, and he's going to put Ginger down into 10th place there. Throwing Kobe right tucked up in behind Fast Ginger and the other McLaren here on the track, and not able to find his way around for the time being here, but maybe he's not trying to get around. Maybe he's just working with Ginger at the moment. And ATB currently 35 seconds down the road. He will make that time back up once these drivers start to make their pit stops, of course, as he is the first driver out of all the drivers to make an official pit stop here. Let's go Nolander, doing good, mate, chilling. Fantastic. We love to hear people chilling in the sun, watching a beautiful race. Not too shabby here at Red Bull Ring tonight. Very controlled race here. So far by these Pro-Ams, and different tire compounds, different strategies at play here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one unfolds for sure. We have Agent Orange here in 3rd place, 3.6 seconds now the gap to CB Merch up in front of him here in 2nd, and Merch is really closing up the gap to Nolander here now in 1st place, so he's got that down to just a car length between the two of them here currently on the racetrack, and a little bit more as they come through. Ramus? No, that's not Ramus, that's the 3rd corner. Alright, so CB Merch here still putting the pressure on Nolander here in 2nd place. It's just a matter of when is this going to happen potentially here, as there is a tire compound difference between the two drivers here. So you would think that 2nd place driver should be able to make something happen here within the next few corners. He was tucked right in, but that BMW is quite quick in a straight line here as well, I guess. So, the Merch gets it really wide there coming around the corner, and that's going to probably pay him with a half-second penalty there. And sure enough, it is. Race controllers, race officials are no joke here. They do not like the drivers using the track limits too far here, and they will penalize the drivers for it. We've seen it a couple times here already tonight and all week long here in Red Bull Ring. Lots of penalties being handed out. Hey, fangs out, VPR. Welcome in, VPR. Alright, so it is still Nolander in the lead of the race as half the field makes a scheduled pit stop here. CB Merch opts to stay out. Egon is up into 3rd place here. He's staying out a little longer here as well. We've got ATK's Death here in 4th position. And a big gap right now, 5.5 seconds of VPR Shredder in behind here. From there, we have our... No, we do not have pit stop being made there yet. CB Matt does not pit. Ginger does not pit yet either. Throwing Kobe in behind in 8th place does not pit. We got Lucky Alpha now in pit lane, and I'm sure that was a welcome pit stop there for him with that damage on that racing car. Agent Orange and Sticky Bandit all making their pit stops. I thought it was a few more drivers. Apparently, it was only 3. Alright, so Nolander and CB Merch here very close together. Basically nose to tail here again as we head up into the S's on lap 10. And as we head towards turns 9 and 10 here, are we going to start seeing around the pit stops coming from the rest of our field is the question. It's about that time where we were seeing our pit stops here in the last 2 races this week, so I would assume we're going to start seeing much of the same thing here. We got Nolander coming into pit lane. Merch is also coming into pit lane. What is Egon going to opt to do here? I don't see a signal light on. He's going to stay going around. Death going to come in. Yes, he's got his signal light on to just let the drivers in behind know that he's going into pit lane. Just the nature of the entry on the racetrack here. Shredder's going to stay around. Absolutely massacres the corner there. Goes way wide. Matt comes into pit lane. Ginger comes into pit lane. Drone comes into pit lane. And now that'll leave Orange coming around here in 9th place, who has made a pit stop here already. So a very large part of the field now coming into pit lane here. And that leaves Egon now leading the race here on lap 11 as he heads into Ramus right now. Turn number 3. Oof, big slide there coming from that Porsche coming over that curb. That leaves Shredder chasing 18.47 seconds in behind here. And that is a big gap between the 2 drivers right now. Nolander is still in pit lane here. So where is Orange going to come out in all of this? Nolander's just coming out of pit lane here right now with CB Merch. Agent Orange is going to come out in behind these 2 in 5th place. So Nolander does come out ahead of CB Merch. Agent Orange is going to settle into 5th. Lucky Alpha settles back into 6th place as Death is just coming out as he comes through turn 1 there. And Death will settle in 7th place here. We still have a couple pit stops up front that need to be made from drivers yet as well. We got Sticky Bandit here in 8th position. ATB's up into 9th. CB Mac comes out here in 10th place. Tron Kobe's going to follow him out there in 11th, and Ginger's right there in behind in 12th position. So Who has the race win here tonight? It is too early to tell without a question of a doubt right now. Different strategies, different tire compounds that the drivers started with. All 3 tires need to be used in the race. We've seen double stinting on tires from the other classes. We've seen new tires every pit stop. We've seen 4 stops. We've seen 3 stops. There's a lot of different variables in this pit strategy here this week for this double points round of round 7. And it's a big points round this week here as well for these drivers. It's a double points round. Absolutely massacres the quarter. Well, you know, it happens. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Alright, so it's Egon here in the lead, and he's still going around here, so Egon ain't messing around. He is moving. We got Shredda's come into pit lane here now, which should give Nolander and CB Merch that position back, so that will be Nolander in 2nd place now and CB Merch in 3rd here, and they are still nose to tail here. And ooh, half-second penalty there for Nolander, so I think that was the first curb there. I think he just overcut that first curb. CB Merch here in 3rd. Agent Orange here in 4th place, and 3.6 seconds down the road. We got Lucky Alpha here in 5th, 4.2 seconds in behind, and then carrying a nice little track limit infraction himself. We've got ATK Death here in 6th position here and looking pretty strong at the, well, not even the mid part of the race. We're only a third of the way through, a little less. Sticky Bandit here in 7th position, and him and Death have been relatively close together all race long. ATP up into 8th place here now as a pit stop from Shredda, so making his way through the grid right now with pit strategy is ATP, not forcing anything at the moment. We have CB Matt here in 9th position. Egon coming into pit lane, so our race leader has made a pit stop here, his first of the night. Tron Kobe is up into 10th place here. Fast Ginger has got up into 11th place, and Shredda's just in behind here, 1.8 seconds down the road in behind. So some interesting strategies happening on the racetrack here. We got Scott coming in with the share on the stream as well. Appreciate you, Hulky, my guy. Alright, so let's see where CB Merch is. CB Merch has passed Nolander there to take 2nd place over, so it should be a race lead here for CB Merch. We'll have to wait and see here. You can see the fuel is going into Egon's racing car here, and it's going to be very close here, I think, as CB Merch is coming around Nicky Lauda right now. Egon is just being released from pit lane. He is going to give up the race lead to CB Merch. Nolander is going to jump ahead there in 2nd position. Agent Orange is going to jump ahead there also in 3rd place, but Egon comes out just in behind there in 4th position, so does gain 1 spot there with that overcut. Lucky Alpha in 5th place, and he's got ATK Death starting to close in here. 2 seconds is that gap on the racetrack, so we're definitely going to see battles in this race just based off of what we've seen our drivers start on for tires. Hope I'm in next week. We'll find out. Sounds good, Hulky. Congratulations on the new job, I did. It's been a long time coming. ATB here in 8th place. We got CB Matt in 9th position. We've got Tron Kobe here in 10th. He's been looking good tonight here. We got Fast Ginger here in 11th place. We got Shredda in 12th position here. And some crazy different pit strategies going on here today. I can't even begin to predict who is going to be in the best position come that final pit stop here at about lap 30 tonight. I really just can't tell you. It's going to be too hard to call. So 129.8 fastest lap on track right now. That was set by Lucky Alpha very early on in the race beginnings here. I do suspect that we'll see that get challenged at some point here yet tonight. We have Nolander here in 2nd place, and Agent Orange is really starting to put the pressure on him here now in 3rd position, and that gap is only half a second, so basically 2 car lengths right now separating those 2 drivers. We can see TT's Egon coming in the background there, 1.29 seconds in behind as well. So as the drivers come through the Nicky Lauda corner here, it is still Nolander in 2nd place. Agent Orange still settles in 3rd place, and CB Merch is just a little bit up the road there, 2 seconds from 2nd place. So these drivers very close here in the front 5 drivers right now, only separated by about 6 seconds. So that is pretty close at this point in the race. Let's go TT, says Josh. Alright, we got Lucky Alpha up in 5th place here, coming around Ramus and looking real good here in 5th place. And maybe starting to catch that pack up the front there, looks like a little bit there as well. ATK's Death here is starting to lose a little bit of pace on Lucky Alpha up in front there. Sticky Bandit starting to close in on ATK's Death here a little bit as well. So Give little, take little situations here every other lap. It seems like we got ATB up in 8th place. It's 3 seconds to Sticky Bandit here currently. CB Matt is 4 seconds in behind ATB right now in 9th place. That leaves Tron Kobe up here in 10th place, and he's 1.8 seconds in behind CB Matt, and Fast Ginger just under a second in 11th place in behind there. And then Shredda is 2.8 seconds in behind those drivers here in 12th position. So who is it going to be at the end of the night is the big question. Somebody to cheer for. Let's go, everyone, says Killed. Facts, brother. Hey, facts, my guy. Alright, so CB Merch here. 3.2 seconds is our third race leader of the evening here, and he's looking pretty comfortable up there right now on lap 15. We got Nolander here in second place in a battle here between Egon and Agent Orange, but Agent Orange is going to hold off Egon here for that battle. Let's go take a little peek at that there again. Let's go have a little look-sees here. Egon pulled out in the slipstream there, took a look, backed out of the corner there, and just settled back in behind there. So just being cautious, or maybe see that right signal light, maybe thought that he was being signaled to go down the right side, but nonetheless, safety, being safe right there, and you know, that probably paid off for him there. Who knows what could have happened in that corner if he would have stuck his nose in there, I suppose. We got Lucky Alpha in 5th place here, we got Death in 6th, we got Sticky Bandit here in 7th position, we got ATB starting to close in here, 2.5 seconds now in 8th place. CB Matt is just maintaining the gap, which means he's closing in on those drivers up in front as well. Tron Kobe is about the same here, just maintaining the gap. Fast Ginger there in 11th, and Shredda here in 12th place. So it is CB Merch here, leading the charge on lap 15. Smart racing there by Egon. I'd do the same. Facts, go Death, go ATK, says Leo. Death's looking good tonight. He's in a good position here right now, I think. CB Merch, though, is moving here real nicely as he's coming up the racing track here. 4.2 seconds, so gained a second on that lap on our second place driver, Nolander. Egon and Agent Orange still very spicy here on turn 1, and Egon's going to do it again here as we head into Nicky Lauder here. It's side by side by Egon. Get over there, cameraman. And Agent Orange, and Egon is going to get the job done here, so he's going to settle up into 3rd place as he makes his way around Agent Orange here in 4th. We got Lucky Alpha here in 5th position, and he closed right up on these two, and Agent Orange is going to take a look now, heading up into Ramus, and it is still side by side. He's going to get the pass made back on Egon here, but Egon is fighting here. He's going to tuck back in behind for the time being, so battle on between these three. Let's stick with this here. Lucky Alpha moves up into the inside, goes up the inside of Egon, which now doesn't allow Egon to try and attack Agent Orange there. Ooh, a little bit of contact there as Lucky Alpha forces Egon out wide there. Should be giving that position back, and he's just going to continue on there. ATK Death is going to benefit grab position there, and also Sticky Bandit is going to grab that position there as well. So Egon dropping back there down into 7th position there. ATB here in 8th place. We've got CB Matt here in 9th. We got Tron Kobe here in 10th position. We got Fast Ginger here in 11th. And we got VPR Shredda closed in on him very quickly. Closed up a couple seconds there. Now starting to battle there to try and make his way back up through the field here. So it is CB Merch here in 1st position. And 4.5 seconds, so only 0.3 of a second gain that time on Nolander here in 2nd place. Nolander is maintaining really great pace here right now here in 2nd place. He's opened up the gap a little bit. Unlucky Alpha in behind, and Agent Orange here is now in 4th place as Lucky Alpha's found a way around there. Lucky Orange here as well. So ATK's Death here in 5th place. Sticky Bandit is right tucked in underneath there. He's right on the back bumper, and let's see if he goes for a move here as we head into Ramus. I'm not sure how it's called, but it is side by side here as we head into turn number 3. Sticky Bandit just backed out just a little bit there to make sure there was enough room for everybody to get through, but he allowed Egon to make a charge up the corner there, and Egon is just about beside him here, but that does give Sticky Bandit the inside line coming into turn 4. I think this is turn 5. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so Egon just settles in behind Sticky Bandit here in 7th place. We got ATB here in 8th. We got CB Matt in 9th. We got Trone there in 10th position. We got Shredda in 11th place. And we got Fast Ginger here in 12th position. All right, CB Merch here, looking real strong. 5.2 seconds now ahead of Nolander. We're going to be getting near another round of pit stops here in about another 5 minutes, maybe less time here. We got Lucky Alpha up in the third position, and Agent Orange still very close behind there in fourth, but ATK Death is charging here. He's starting to close in a little bit here in fifth place. TT's Egon has made his way around. Sticky Bandit moved back up into sixth, and now he's got his eyes set on that Mercedes up in front here. And good, healthy battling, especially in the mid-pack here again by these Pro-Ams. That never ceases to amaze me. These drivers are always fighting hard in the mid-pack here, but good, hard battling happening here. Sticky Bandit getting a charge in the slipstream here. He's going to go up into the inside. Nope, he's going to sit in behind here. I thought for sure he was maybe going to try and make the move there, but this is a smart racing between Sticky Bandit. Oh, no! And he just makes a little mistake, keeps it out of the wall, though. He does keep that car out of the wall. He's got to let those guys get through. Oh, he's next to the wall there, but he keeps it out of damage. He's just trying to get that thing backed around safely here. He's got to let these guys get through it. Oh, that is going to cost him, unfortunately, right there. Just a little too slow coming around the corner, and when he went to get on the throttle, it spun the rear end of that Lexus around, but he did a great job of keeping it out of the wall, at least. And unfortunately for him, had to let that pack go through before he can get back on track safely, but absolutely great job there by Sticky Bandit to manage that very difficult situation there that he ended up in coming out of turn 3. CB Merch charging here. He is still going to cruise around the racetrack here. He's going to go another couple laps yet, I'm sure. Nolander chasing here, still 5.2 seconds in behind, so the gap did not open up at all there on that lap. He managed to maintain the pace of the leader there. We have Lucky Alpha coming into pit lane here now. He's going to give third place up to Agent Orange there as he comes through. Death is going to move up into fourth place. He has Egon right up in behind here. Egon takes a look, but realizes there isn't a move there, so he just tucks back in behind Death there to make the corner, and it is game on, and he gets a good run coming out of the corner here. But that Mercedes we know has some straight line speed, especially in comparison to that Porsche. Death absolutely covers off that line. He's like, no, you are not going to slip through there, my friend. You're going to have to do better than that. So Egon settles back in behind here for the time being, and Egon looking for a big cut through the corner here. You can tell by the entry. And Death had a great line through the corner there, so Egon not able to gain for the time being on ATK Death. That is a healthy battle there suddenly between those two drivers. We got CB Matt here in 6th position, 3.5 seconds down the road, and we still got Trone right there, 3.8 seconds in behind, so he's only lost about a second over the last 5 or 6 laps here. Shred has now moved all the way up into 8th place here, as he's been charging up through the back of the pack here for the last 4 or 5 laps. We have Fast Ginger here up in 9th place. We got Sticky Bandit down into 10th with that little mistake in turn 3 there that we saw. Lucky Alpha making a pit stop there, just the last lap there, coming out in 11th place, and ATB here in 12th position here. So strategy's hard at work right now in the midway part of this race, and just about at exactly the midway point as well. Sticky went Slippy Dippy. He did went, yeah, Slippy Dippy for sure. I feel his pain there. I've done that a few times in practice throughout the week with the team drivers as well. Yeah, that corner will get you without a question. Agent Orange and Tyrone Kobe jumping into pit lane here. And you can see we have so many different tires on the racetrack right now. It's absolutely so hard to keep up with. But CB Merch has 7 seconds now on Nolander, so Nolander must have made a mistake there somewhere. He lost 2 seconds on the race later that time around. ATK's Death is up into 3rd place here, and he still has Egon sitting just tucked in behind him here right now as they come up the racetrack, and it's still going to be exactly like that. It's going to be Death and Egon 3rd and 4th place here, and it looks like they're actually closing in on Nolander here a little bit as well. We got CB Matt here in 5th place. He's got that down to 2.8 seconds, so he's gained some time on the drivers up in front here. Shredda now up into 6th place, obviously with some pit stops happening. We have Fast Ginger moving up into 7th. Lucky Alpha settles back into 8th position. Agent Orange comes out just in behind him there in 9th place. ATB moves up into 10th place with the pit stops coming from Trone, Kobe, and Sticky Bandit here. And it's race back on at the halfway point, just a little over at this point, 31 minutes into this 60-minute race here tonight, so we still got lots that can happen. Keep smashing everyone. I'm off to bed. Hey, have a good night, Scott. Appreciate you. Bad memories. Yeah, it's all good, Kilty. Next week's a new week. Alright, so we got CB Merge coming into pit lane. We got Nolander coming into pit lane. Egon has opted to stay Another lap out, Death has also come into pit lane, so it's going to be Egon to take the race lead back here as he goes around the racetrack. And this is a similar strategy we've seen last time around, really stretching that stint out. We got Shredder here. Going to come around. He's going to grab second place as all those drivers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers currently sitting in pit lane here. We got Matt in third. We got Death in fourth. Nolander in fifth. Ginger in sixth. Merchant in seventh. Although that'll change. It just depends where their pit box is sitting. Lucky Alpha coming around here. He's in eighth place, so he should grab some of these positions up as he comes back around the racetrack. You see some of them getting some fuel in those cars. Merch should be on his way back out here. And we actually see him coming out of pit lane, so he is going to stay ahead of Lucky Alpha here. So CB Merch will come back out in third position after that pit stop. Lucky Alpha is going to find himself sitting in fourth place and picking up a potential penalty right there as he went a little bit deep into that corner. It's going to be hit and miss. It's a 50-50 that the stewards are going to give him one there. And it looks like they figured that was okay, so that was a 50-50. ATK Death and Nolander here, so Death leapfrogs Nolander in pit lane here, and Nolander comes out right tucked in underneath the tail fin of that Mercedes here, so it's going to be battle on between Death, Nolander, and looks like Agent Orange are in seventh place as well, as Agent Orange is tucked right in behind this BMW here as well. CB Matt just in behind these drivers here in 8th place with ATV closing in now in 9th. We got Trone Kobe there in 10th place. We got Fast Ginger here in 11th. We got Sticky in 12th place. So Egon and Shredda are the only two drivers remaining to make a second pit stop here so far tonight. Everybody else has made 2 stops here so far with just under 27 minutes remaining in this race. And as we say that, we see Shredda coming in the pit lane. He's going to make his pit stop here now. So it is Egon now tracking up the racetrack here, and plenty of fuel in that racing car still. Shredder coming in there, he's just pulling into his pit box, so that should give CB Merch back second place as he comes around here with that pit stop from Shredder, and he's got 33 seconds right now to Egon, so we're noting that. And I believe it's about 35 to 40 seconds for a pit stop, depending on the amount of fuel you're taking. We have Lucky Alpha in third place as he comes around here, and Shredder's just dipping down through the field here with that pit stop. That was a big cut there. That may be a half-second track limit penalty there, as that was a lot of curb cut coming into corner 1 there. And the penalties usually show up in between the 2 flags here if you're going to get them. And wow. Race control being awfully friendly here with our drivers apparently on turn 1 right now. ATK's Death here in 4th place. We got Agent Orange in 5th place, and boy, CB Matt is closed the door up on him extremely quickly here. He's got ATB right there and Nolander in behind as well, so Nolander must have made a mistake. He's lost 3 positions there out of this 4-way group, and ATK Death is hoping it stays a 4-car pack and not becomes a 5-car pack, as they are barreling down on him here as he's trying to catch up to Lucky Alpha up there in 3rd place right now. And boy, oh boy, that is a absolute thick pack of cars here right now. 4-way battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th position here between these drivers. We're just going to, we got ATB looking up the inside here of Agent Orange, going to get the job done. He's going to grab that spot. Agent Orange going to move down a spot there into 7th place, so ATB picks one up. Nolander's taking a look as we come up the S's here now, and that's going to put him on the outside of corner 9 and 10, but BMW has got some straight line speeds, so should have no problem staying right up beside that Porsche. The question is, can he hold the corner on the outside? It's a difficult line for sure. Ooh, manages to hold it pretty good right there. And oh, juicy little cutback right there by Nolander, and that was a spectacular pass coming out of turn number 10 right there on that Porsche. Let's go take another look at that. That was an absolute beautiful setup and execution right there by Nolander. Takes the hard way around the first time, breaks a little extra, realizing that Porsche is going to go deep out of the corner, and takes advantage of that and throws that BMW down the inside for an easy pass. Absolutely beautiful stuff right there from our drivers on track. That was a doozy. We love nice, beautiful passes like that. Got Trone here in 9th place. We got Shredder here in 10th. We got Fast Ginger in 11th. This 3-car pack all nose to tail here as well, battling for position. Is the Bandit not racing tonight? Nope, Bandit doesn't race in this series, Stoppy. It is a good race so far. Very good racing here by these drivers. Absolutely, Josh. Alright, so it is Shredder in 10th. We got Ginger in 11th. We got Sticky here in 12th place. He's only 4 seconds in behind. So, it's, again, still too hard to call who's going to come out on top in this race here tonight. Just too hard to call. Too hard to call. Alright, so it's going to be CB Merch here. He's got 34 seconds to Egon, so Egon's actually opened the gap up just a little bit more on that driver since he's pit. We got Lucky Alpha here in third pace. We got Matt in fourth. Probably going to pick up a penalty for that curb cut there. Nope. Wow, racing stewards must be on coffee break right now. We got ATB here in fifth place. We've got Nolander and ATK Death battling here. Nolander gets the job done on the outside. He's going to move up another position here on ATK's Death, and BMW is on the move here right now in this third stint. We got Agent Orange here in 8th place, chasing those guys back down. We got Tron Kobe here in 9th, trying to catch up to Agent Orange. He's got Fast Ginger and Shredda here in tow in 10th and 11th place. The Sticky Bandit is just off these guys here, only now 2.7 seconds in behind those three. So positions are swapping like crazy here in the middle part of this race. That was a very nice pass. Alright, so it's Egon, almost 35 seconds up the road here right now, but he has not yet made that second pit stop, and judging by what we're seeing on screen here, that pit stop's going to be coming here right now, and that is exactly what we're seeing as we got Egon coming into pit lane here for another pit stop. We got CB Merch here in second place, and it's going to be very close whether or not he actually gets that position. CB Matt was just battling there, and we're going to mark that as it looks like he just maneuvered around Lucky Alpha there. Now ATB is going to take a look here as well, and Lucky Alpha might be losing 2 spots here in just a handful of corners here, and that is going to be definitely the case as ATB finds himself up into 4th place, making his way around Lucky Alpha there as well. We got Nolander now coming in on this fight here as well, and he's closing in on Lucky Alpha and looking to grab another spot. We got ATK's Death here in 7th. We got Agent Orange in 8th. We got Tron in 9th with Fast Ginger closing there in 10th. We got VPR Shredda here in 11th place, and Sticky Bandit closing in as well. So, oh boy, I think we're in for a good set of battles here before the end of this race, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely might want to go refresh those beverages right now while you got the chance. Got Mark coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. We appreciate you, my guy. Alright, so Merch does manage to leapfrog Egon in pit lane here, and that gap turns into 7.5 seconds. Egon comes out here in second place, and he's got 2 seconds over CB Matt Merch here right now on the racetrack, and ATB in tow. They have already scrubbed in tires, so Egon really needs to get moving here. Lucky Alpha in 5th place, and Nolander really starting to close in. He's putting the pressure on, and Nolander's been looking real solid here tonight. He's definitely been putting in some work for this race here over the off week. We've got ATK's Death here in 7th position. We got Agent Orange here in 8th place. We've got Fast Ginger here in 9th. We've got Tron in 10th, so Fast Ginger has grabbed a position there. Shredda now chasing here in 11th place, and he's got that Lexus absolutely bearing down on him here, just 0.4 of a second in behind, and potentially less or more. That McLaren is so good through corner number 4 there. Alright, CB Merch here, 7.9 seconds is the gap right now, and yeah, looking quite cozy there in the lead, but again, going wide into turn 9, and it's those little mistakes like that that really cost you time here at Red Bull Ring. That half-second penalty does equate to about 3/4 of a second here on the racetrack when the drivers behind are at full pace. Egon here, he is absolutely working hard right now to try and keep CB Matt off him, but CB Matt is absolutely charging, and the fastest man on the racetrack as these two come around this time around. It was a 129.393 from Matt, and then ATB come through and stole that away with a 129.127 in behind in the slipstream. So battle on between these three right now. We got Nolander. He has gotten around Lucky Alpha here in 5th place, and he's got 3.7 seconds in behind that battle for podium position up ahead there. Lucky Alpha here in 6th place. He's been having a good race for himself here tonight as well. We've got ATK's Death here in 7th position. We got Ginger up into 8th, so now he's made his way around Agent Orange here as well and starting to make some moves up the racetrack here. We got Tron Kobe in 10th position, and Sticky Bandit has made his way around Shredda there now in 11th position, and we got Shredda here in 12th place. So strategies are what they are here, and they are definitely a very, very diverse set of strategies here tonight from this Pro-Am group. We got Bo coming in with the thumbs up on stream as well. Let's go. Nolander says, Paul, hey, penalty ring? Facts. Facts right there. So CB Merchant race leader serving said penalty there right now. Got ATB, who's just moved up into 2nd place here, and he's gotten around both CB Matt and Egon, so a twofer there for ATB. We got Egon now settled into third place and feeling the pressure here from CB Matt, our championship points leader coming into tonight. We have Nolander closed up on these guys by half the distance here, now got it to under 2 seconds. Lucky Alpha here 4 seconds in behind. We have ATK's Death closing in on Alpha a little bit here, 3.5 seconds is gap. We're managing that, and now Fast Ginger is closing very quickly here on ATK's Death as well in 8th place, and you can see that he is in that slipstream. We got Trone and Agent Orange in behind battling here potentially as well. Fast Ginger just settles in behind here. Is he going to use the exit to get the run? And whoa, what a run he gets there, as he is giving Death a little help here up the racing street. He's giving him a little bump there to get that guy going, and I think he sees what's happening in behind him here. He's got Agent Orange and Trone Kobe coming in, so he's just trying to make sure he's got some distance before he tries to make this move into turn 3, and he cannot get it done. Death out breaks him into the corner there, and it is still battle on here between these two, and ATK Death is absolutely defending for his life right now against Fast Ginger, and this is a good battle, and it's getting even more intense as the rest of the cars in behind are starting to close in. We got Trone, we got Agent Orange, and I'm not sure who's up in behind him there. Sticky Bandit in behind in that Lexus, so very quickly becoming a 5-way battle between 7th through 11th here. Alright, ATK Death is doing a good job at holding off that charge of Fast Ginger here right now, but Fast Ginger doesn't want to get too complacent here. He could start finding his way falling backwards instead of moving up forwards like he has been here, so he needs to make something happen here, and it looks like Death is going to give the position there to Ginger. Had to serve a penalty potentially there as he pulled off the racing line. If I had to guess, that's what we were seeing there. CB Merch is 7.5 seconds up ahead of ATB. Egon still holding off the charge from CB Matt here for 3rd and 4th place right now, and Matt got a great run coming out of corner 1 right there, and it's going to be side by side for 3rd position here between him and Egon. He does have a little bit of position on Egon here right now as we're coming into turn 3, and he is going to get the job done before we hit turn 3 here. So CB Matt moving up into the podium position. Nolander continues to try and close in on those two drivers, 1.7 seconds behind in 5th place. Lucky Alpha here in 6th position, just coming around turn 3 there, is losing a little bit of time off that front group here right now. Fast Ginger has gotten around Death there as we've seen that penalty being served up the S's there, and now he is trying to track down Lucky Alpha 4 seconds up the road. That is a great battle. Flip 60. Let's go, Sticky. We got ATK's Death here in 8th position, and now we got a battle between Trone Kobe and Sticky Bandit. Sticky Bandit up the inside, heading into the corner here, and is going to get the job done on Trone Kobe there. So Sticky Bandit moves up into 9th, puts Trone down into 10th. We got Agent Orange down into 11th place, and well, lo and behold, a half-second track limit penalty there for that driver. We got shredded there, and those track limit penalties do not help a driver's charge at all. Let's go with Sticky. Alright, so it's CB Merch, and he's still, 6.2 seconds now is the gap here. ATB just coming into pit lane. We've got CB Matt, he's going to go around, going to take over 2nd place. That'll give Egon 3rd place there with that pit stop from ATB. We got Nolander here, going to take over 4th place with that pit stop. Lucky Alpha also coming into pit lane in behind, so that should give Fast Ginger a couple of positions as he comes up the racetrack here as well. Moves him up into 5th place, and that gap has just gotten bigger now. It's 10.1 seconds to Nolander up in front. Sticky Bandit side by side with ATK Death there, and a whole lot of entry curve right there. He had to check himself up as that was a big bounce coming out of the corner there, and that's going to give Trone a run back on that Lexus driver right there. That was really unfortunate. He just got a little too much entry curve there coming around turn 1, and it's actually slowed him down on exit a little bit as he had to gather that car up, but he's closing back up on Death here. Oh boy, and there it is again, just clipping that curb, and he manages to keep the car in the right direction this time, but he is going to give that position up to Trone Kobe, and boy, turn 3 has not been Sticky Bandit's friend here tonight. We have ATB here in 9th place after his pit stop. Lucky Alpha's coming out here in 10th, with Shredda in 11th, and Agent Orange here in 12th place. So all 3 of those drivers coming in and out of pit lane here right now. So it's CB Merch here still with this race lead, and he's definitely not going to be able to go the distance with what he has remaining for fuel. So we are going to see another pit stop for sure out of this driver. Much of the same thing here for our 2nd place driver, VPR CB Matt as well. And when he's going to make that pit stop, we're not sure yet, but he's going to go around one more time for sure. Egon here has a good load of fuel in that car right now. We got Nolander here in a 4th position chasing. We've got Fast Ginger now up into 5th place here, and he's going to go around again. We've got ATK's Death coming around here, and I don't foresee why he wouldn't go. Nope, he's got that signal light on. He's had enough of those hard tires. He is bringing that thing in. We got Drone Kobe here in 7th place. He's getting low on fuel, and Sticky Bandit much of the same thing, so that should give ATB back all 3 of those positions and move him up into 6th position here once he comes around turn 10. But picking up that half-second track limit penalty for turn 9 exit there is not going to help his charge back towards front of the pack, however. And oh well, race control felt that he didn't cut that exit, so they let him slide a little bit here tonight. Boy, the track officials are being very lenient here tonight, if I've got to say so myself. Alright, so it's CB Merch, and he's still got a nice healthy 8-second gap, and it's Egon and CB Matt here, and they're still fighting it out here. Egon does manage to get up into 2nd position here over CB Matt, so that was just a battle that just happened there. So a little swap in a position between the 2 drivers. Nolander still tailing here, 1.8 seconds in behind. That gap hasn't grown or decreased in the last 3 or 4 laps here. Ginger's still at 9.9 seconds in behind Nolander right now as well in 5th place. CB Merch, our race leader, now coming into pit lane here. Egon is going to stay out, and he's going to continue on down the racetrack. CB Mac comes in, Nolander comes in, Fast Ginger comes in. ATB, who has a half-second penalty there, won't be coming in, but he will be serving that penalty here as he comes up the S's, and that's an unfortunate penalty at the during pit stop sequence here for him. It's going to cost him a little bit of time on the racetrack and potential position gain here, but we'll see where he comes out here as he comes around turns 9 and 10 right now. And we're not done seeing pit stops yet. We're still going to see some more pit stops here from the field. Some of these drivers are not going to be able to get the rest of the distance on the fuel that they have in their racing cars. We got Cody B coming in with the thumbs up. Really good racing as always, not to mention the comms. Appreciate you, Paul, my guy. Alright, so Fast Ginger coming into pit lane there in 6th place as well. We see last time around the racetrack here. So it is Egon in the lead. It's CB Merch here in 2nd position. It's Nolander and ATB and CB Matt all battling for 3rd place here right now. Currently Nolander has 3rd place. CB Matt's up the inside of ATB. ATB goes up the inside of Nolander, and Nolander gets the worst end of that as ATB makes it 3 wide coming into the corner there, and a little bit of contact forcing Nolander out wide there. So big move coming right there from ATV, sending it up into the middle there. They must have chipped and paid off the officials. I'm starting to wonder, Superman. I'm starting to wonder. Might have to do an investigation after the race here to see what was going on with our penalty officials here tonight. No, it's all good. It's good they're just leaving the drivers race. That's what we like. So 35 seconds is the gap here again to CB Merch. We know that wasn't enough last time around when he pit, so we'll have to see if it's enough this time around. We've got CB Matt here in 3rd place. He's managed to get his way around ATB here in 4th place, and these 3 drivers are just swapping positions around like crazy here right now. Nolander here in 5th place, trying to close back up on ATB. We have Fast Ginger. He's come out in 6th place here ahead of Lucky Alpha, and that gap is 1.8 seconds here as well. Sticky Bandit here in 8th position, and he's got Death chasing here in behind in 9th. We have Agent Orange rounding out our top 10 here right now on the field, with Tron Kobe very close behind here in 11th place, and Shredda chasing here in 12th position. And of course Miguel with the disconnect in lap 3 there will get 13th place position finish here today. Naughty ATV. It is Egon with the race lead here and continues to open that gap up more and more on these drivers here. We have CB Merch in 2nd position. We got CB Matt and ATB battling here for 3rd right now, and we're side by side as we head up into turn number 4. And ATB's got the ideal position here, but you can hold the outside line of this corner and really manage to hold position. And we've seen exactly that. CB Matt didn't give him a millimeter on the outside of that corner right there. That was a great hold right there by Matt. Gives him the inside position coming into the S's here now. and ATB's going to have to work hard here to keep that position, and he just loses out a little bit on the position there, and a little bit of contact there between the two drivers as Matt tucked back in to make the corner there, and ATB kind of had to let up a little bit. We're still side by side as we're coming up through the S's here, and this is a great battle. Nolander's getting involved here now. Ooh, a little more contact there, and that's going to open the door up for Nolander on the inside of ATB here now as we're heading into turn 10, and oh boy, this is some scrappy fighting we got going on here between these three right now. The elbows and shoulders are full engaged here between these three, and Nolander flashing the lights, I think apologizing to ATB there for the contact. I don't think that was intentional contact there. And here we go, race back on. CB Matt has just a small amount of breathing room here at the moment as those two in behind start to catch back up. Fast Ginger here in 6th place, 5.7 seconds is that gap. The more those three battle, the better chance these two have of catching up in behind here, with Lucky Alpha just in behind Fast Ginger there in 7th place. Sticky Bandit here in 8th position, 6 seconds down the road. Death is just 2 seconds in behind. Agent Orange is also about 2.3, and Tron Kobe still very close behind there, within a second of that Porsche driver of Agent Orange. Shredder from VPR here in 12th position, and strategy not working out so well for him here so far late in the race, with only 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. It is definitely going to get interesting, but it's Egon here with the lead right now. We've got CB Merch here in 2nd, and the gap is almost 40 seconds. Egon on a completely different strategy than the rest of the field here, and doing a pretty good job at making it work, but when he makes that pit stop, has he done enough is the biggest question. CB Matt here in 3rd position. Got ATB here in 4th place. We've got Nolander here in 5th place. We've got Fast Ginger here in 6th. We've got Lucky Alpha here in 7th. We've got Sticky Bandit here in 8th place, charging hard. We got ATK's Death trying to do the same thing here in 9th, with Agent Orange in 10th place. And not a whole lot changing here right now, as the drivers are all just trying to close up these time gaps before the last few minutes of the race. Right now, everybody's wondering if this guy is going to stop again here. And, well, guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out. He's still got 7 minutes and 20 seconds remaining on the clock here on that fuel load in that racing car. We'll see if it's enough. CB Merch in 2nd position. You can see CB Matt is closing up here little bit by little bit, as that gap is now under 2 seconds, and he's starting to leave ATB and Nolander kind of in the dust a little bit here in 4th and 5th place. Fast Ginger here in 6th position, and 5.8 seconds, so losing a little bit of pace now off those front runners. Lucky Alpha here closing in on Ginger. Oh, we got a yellow flag up in front. Who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Oh, it was CB Merch out of 2nd, 3rd place. Out of 3rd place, I think he was out of 3rd, 4th there. He might not have lost any position. He might have just spun there, but that now closes up the door here for Fast Ginger and Lucky Alpha to try and make something happen. He's definitely got some damage there, so I'm assuming it was on the... Oh no, boy, and he just clips Ginger there as he makes another mistake, and somehow Ginger manages to keep that thing on the track. And oh boy, our CB Merch here struggling with that racing car right now, and is he going to make a pitch here? It's going to have to wait and see. We got Sticky Bandit coming around, and he does make that signal there to go to the right. I think he's going to get this car in and get it fixed up here. No, he is not. He's going to continue to go around. Oh, we had Fast Ginger going around off the edge of the track here as well now in turn 10, and he comes back on track here in 10th position, so he makes a mistake and loses a few positions here. And oh boy, it's falling apart for some of these drivers here late in the race. We got Chad Young coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, my dude, we appreciate you. But it is Egon leading the way here, and he's got a 41-second gap on CB Matt here in 2nd place. We got ATB here in 3rd. We got Nolander in 4th. We got Lucky Alpha in 5th place there, and struggling with turn 1 a little bit here tonight in that car. We got Sticky Bandit here in 6th. We got turn 3, I mean. Death and CB Merch very close together here, so CB Merch just comes out in behind Death after that pit stop there, and it didn't look like he fixed that damage. Interesting. We got, oh right, he didn't pit. We got Trone here in 9th place. We've got Fast Ginger here in 10th with whatever mistake he made on track there. We have Shredder here in 11th and Agent Orange in 12th. So our race leader comes into pit lane with under 5 minutes remaining here in the race. The gap was 41 seconds. And he's out. A very short pit stop here, and he's going to come out for a 5-minute hard tire stint here now as he gets to exit pit lane Matt's just coming across the start-finish line, so it's going to be a decent-sized gap here from Egon to CB Matt here in second place. You got ATB in third place. Half-second track limit penalty there. Nolander very close behind here in fourth. Lucky Alpha is in fifth place and loses pace off the front runners here, but looking for a great race finish here tonight. Sticky Bandit here in sixth place. We got ATK's Death in seventh. We got Merch here in eighth place. We got Trone in ninth. We've got Ginger here in 10th place, and there is definitely positions to be gained back up there. We've got Shredda here in 11th and Agent Orange in 12th position. Alright, so it's Egon here, and that gap is 10 seconds. Can he hold CB Matt off for the next 3 minutes and 50 seconds here to win this race? CB Matt is charging here in second place, and ATB is very close behind here in third, and he's, well, added on another half-second track limit penalty there. So apparently ATB didn't chip in on paying off the track officials here, because they've double-handed him one here, and that's unfortunate, as Nolander is going to get a free pass right into third place here, as he's going to have to serve that penalty as soon as we come out of the S's here. Whoa, big slide there from Nolander. Nolander almost bottled that charge there, as he got a little too anxious on the throttle, and that's going to be an easy third place pass there for Nolander. He just needs to manage now and not let ATB get back around. Got Lucky Alpha here in fifth place, a Sticky Bandit closing and charging very quickly here in sixth. We got Death in seventh. We got Trone in eighth position. Fast Ginger's found his way around CB Merch here. He got himself back into ninth place. CB Merch still holding strong here in 10th. A nice little juicy penalty to serve there. We got Shredda here in 11th place and Agent Orange in 12th position. So here we go, with 3 minutes remaining. We're going to see this lap and 2 more potentially, I think, here. The gap is 6 seconds right now from CB Matt to Egon, so we close up about 2.5 seconds that lap, and at that pace we have a battle for the race win before the end of this thing is over. Nolander here in third place, and oh, he picks up a half-second track limit penalty, but ATB has one right there with them, so it's getting dicey and interesting there in third and fourth place. Those drivers are clearly pushing hard and pushing the limits of this racetrack, and now it seems like race track officials are really paying attention as this race is closing down here. We got Lucky Alpha in fifth. We got Sticky closing in sixth. We got ATK Death trying to do the same here in seventh place. Trone's got 4 seconds to death, and he's got Fast Ginger closing quickly here in ninth place in behind. CB Merch here in 10th place, and just making a mistake there, and that's cost him a few positions on the racetrack. Shredda's here in 11th, and Agent Orange here in 12th position. I think he had to make another pit stop there. I think that's why he fell back. So it is Egon here, and with 1:42 left on the clock, the gap is now 4.4 seconds. It's going to be 2 to go here for Egon and our race leader, CB Matt, chasing. He can see Egon getting around the corner there now. We got Nolander here in third place, with ATB still very close behind here in fourth place. This is anybody's game. This podium is 100% undecided at this point in time in the race right now. Lucky Alpha here in fifth place. We got Sticky Bandit in sixth. We've got Death in seventh. We've got Trone in eighth. Ginger's closing up bit by bit here, starting to put the pressure on him a little bit. We've got CB Merch in 10th. Agent Orange has gotten up into 11th there. Shredda down in 12th. And boy, we really got to start keeping an eye on what's happening up front here, because it's about to get interesting. Alright, 2.5 seconds is the gap from Egon to CB Matt. CB Matt can see the taillights of that Porsche now, and it is going to be full send for this driver here. ATB and Nolander side by side, battle back on for third and fourth place here again. And boy, this is a good battle between these two drivers here. Both front engine, rear wheel drive cars, a little bit of tires rubbing happening right there as we're battling hard for the position. ATB is going to let Nolander check up wide. He's going to go for the switcheroo there. A little bit of a cutback, and we're still side by side. Oh boy, it is elbows out racing between these two here again. And the ATB is going to hold strong there for the time being, but here we go. We are going to see one final lap of racing here, and that gap is gone. There isn't a gap. Egon is in a fight for his life here right now against CB Matt Merch from VPR, and CB Matt has done enough to get into a fight here on the final lap of this race. So it is going to be interesting to see how this all shakes down here. So we're watching two battles here right now. We got Lucky Alpha coming across in 5th, and Sticky coming across in 6th, Death coming across in 7th position there. We're sticking right here with this battle for the lead right now. Egon is taking all those defensive lines, and CB Matt is just waiting for his moment to pounce right now. Oh boy, here we go. Egon is going to sit on the defensive here. He's going to take that defensive line. He's going to try and make CB Matt do it the hard way. Ooh, a little bit of contact there between the two drivers. And his race back on. So here we go. Side by side as we come up in through the S's, and oh, Egon left the door open there, and CB Matt just couldn't quite drive through it there, but boy, he's got a nose in, and oh, we got a little bit of contact there between the two again. And it's racing back on, and great respect being shown here between CB Matt and Egon here, and oh boy, what a battle for the lead here right now. It's going to come down to two corners, pardon me, and here we go. CB Matt takes a look up the inside here. Egon's going to defend it. He goes in really late, and oh, he can't hold him off, and it's going to be CB Matt in turn 9 to take the race lead away from Egon. It was a valiant defense right there by Egon, but CB Matt's going to get the job done here and take the race win right at the end of the race. Second place for Egon. It's going to be a third place finish there for ATB, and it's going to be out of fuel for Nolander here as he's rolling down the racetrack, and thankfully for him, he got across that live timer before everybody else. Ooh, miscalculation on Nolander's part, but thankfully for him, the rest of the field crossing that start-finish line after the timer had ran out, so that does place them in their running position, and Nolander's just going to hold on to 4th place here with a great end race battle there from ATB, and he's going to roll this thing across the start-finish line here to be our final driver tonight to take the checkered flag. We've got Lucky Alpha in 5th. We got Sticky in 6th. We got Death finishing in 7th. We've got Trone finished up in 8th place. He's held Fast Ginger off there. CB Merchant 10th. Agent Orange finishing in 11th. And Shredder finishing in 12th place. And there we go. We're going to sit on with Nolander here as he's jumping up and down in his racing seat right now to try and get every little bit of drop of fuel down the fuel line into this racing car. And yeah, that's you hate to see it. We see somebody run out of fuel almost every race, it seems like, but it's going to be CB Matt from the back of the pack here tonight to take that race win right at the end of the race here tonight. Turn 9. It doesn't get any closer than that. Alright, so it is CB Matt in the race win. It's going to be Egon very close behind in 2nd place. ATB in 3rd. CB Matt also with fastest lap of 28.4. Nolander in 4th place with Lucky Alpha in 5th. Sticky Bandit in 6th place. ATK's Death in 7th. And Drone Kobe finishing there in 8th. Fast Ginger in 9th position. CB Merch in 10th. Agent Orange in 11th. We have Shredda in 12th place. And Miguel with a disconnect on lap 3 in 13th position. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, good job to the Pro-Ams. That was a good finish right there to that race. Oh, nos. No, nos, just a different tire. Alright, so we're just going to give our podium interviewees a chance to get into the interviewing room here. I myself need to get into the interviewing room. Alright, so I am in the podium booth. Alright, so we'll wait for our drivers to get out of the race cars and make their way into the interviewing area. Of course, I don't have highlights for you guys right now. I apologize. We're going to make them tonight, so they'll be on the YouTube channel for week 6 highlights for our Pro-Ams later tonight. So that was some good racing right there. Let me tell you, there was a little bit of everything happening in that race. That is for sure. Highly entertaining. Cheers, Chris. We appreciate you. GG's all, says TDC. Alright, let's catch up on some alerts here on the stream. We had TDC coming in with the heart on the stream and the share as well. Kilt coming in with the triple share. Chris with the share. Anthony with the share. Dennis Bomer coming in with the heart. Scott with the heart. Scott with the share. We also had Lobster Taylor coming in with that heart on the stream. Welcome in. We appreciate that. And Nolander Gaming coming in with that care react as well. And oh, we didn't do driver of the day vote, did we? That was a fail. 5 seconds too fast and ran out of fuel. Yeah, it was a good race, Nolander. Good race, buddy. Good race, ATT, says Black Widow. Alright, we got our third place finisher and our second place finisher up in the comments box here, so we can definitely start talking with them while we wait for our race winner coming in. So we're just going to hit that button right there. We're going to hit another couple of their little quick function buttons here so you can hear these wonderful drivers. And we'll have a little chat. So let's start with Apex Sim Racing's Guardian, or ATB here, as many of us know him by as well. Coming in, having to start in 12th position on the grid here tonight. Second overall in the championship point standings, and coming all the way back through the field for a very hard fought and well-earned third place race here tonight. And boy, the end stint really kind of is where all the racing happened here tonight for the most part. And ATB definitely put in some work in that final stint. So congratulations on a great race here tonight, and talk us through it.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm still trying to cool off a little bit from pushing that third stint, but that last stint, yeah, is great racing all around. I kind of figured it would come down to the last stint with how everyone's strategies was panning out. I had been doing some work throughout the week about a kind of undercut. I know I could have stretched out a stint on 12 laps of fuel, but that was really fuel saving. So I knew 11s on the medium and softs were the way to go, and was just trying to get out of traffic and in some clean air, especially for that medium stint, or that second stint. But what ended up was going on, I was noticing I was hitting some corners wide. I was like, man, it feels like something's off. And then so during my third pit stop, I was messing around and my whole wheel was starting to come off my base. Like I lost one screw and another one was like halfway threaded in. I was like, oh, that would be why. But yeah, it was just crazy. But yeah, some really good racing there at the end. Had some good kind of middle of the pack racing with Egon and Matt as well, which I kind of figured it was gonna come down to that. And just I had a couple dumb mistakes on my part with completely just lost concentration when I got a 3-second pit lane, and then some of my track limits was trying to push and just push a little too hard.
There we go. Absolutely, and it did kind of seem like that our track limit officials here at Red Bull Ring were a little bit lenient in the middle part of this race. They were kind of just leaving you guys race to it, and weren't being as typically strict as we see them here on this particular racetrack. But boy, they really started to put the hammer down back at the end part of the race here, knowing what was on coming out to stake. And I mean, a little bit of penalty trouble here for you tonight. We've seen a few penalties over that car throughout the race here tonight, and I mean, it slows you down a little bit on this racetrack, but not as much. You only lose about 1.5 times the penalty distance, as opposed to some of the racetracks where you lose 2 or 3 times that penalty, depending where you have to serve it. Here it's coming up an uphill sector, so you don't quite lose as much time. So, I mean, how do you, I guess, how do you manage your pace when you start picking up penalties like that? How do you kind of get your mind back in the right frame and just kind of shake that off and just get back into your rhythm?
Yeah, like you said, it's not terribly too bad of a part of the track, but really for me it was like, okay, I have a penalty, I know where I'm going to slow down, I know I can carry, hit the brake, my brake mark a little bit further than I normally would, coming into that those last 2 right-handers, but don't want to get too crazy and kind of veer off the course and pick up another. Yeah, it's just for me, it's just kind of mentally trying to refocus and trying to clean up and just correct the mistake the next lap around was really all I could do. And yeah, like I said, a lot of those mistakes were just kind of mental fatigue on my part. Being up since 5:30 this morning. But yeah, that was just like I said. It wasn't anything anyone else did or anything like that. It was just all, like I said, just mental errors on my part.
I really do think that was the case for probably the majority of the field here tonight. We've seen lots of little mistakes from each of the drivers here tonight. Not so much necessarily big mistakes. A couple drivers had some bigger mistakes, but for the most part, it was just those things like those half-second track limit penalties and a little wiggle coming out of a corner or a little slide. Those things do cost time on the racetrack. But I also think that also contributed to the pack staying so close all race long and really creating some great racing action here tonight as well. And there was an extremely large difference in tire strategy here tonight, as far as what was started on and how the tires were changed and how many pit stops were happening here. And you were on a little bit of a different strategy than most of the field here as well. So I guess overall happy with how the race went based off of your strategy coming in tonight.
Yeah, like I said, I fortunately got more practice in this race, um, because I knew I had to have a good a good result this race. I put in as much practice as I could. Got some good tips from some teammates, Jakey and Bo specifically. Um, and yeah, I just knew, especially starting in the back, I was like, all right, I need to do as few laps, but still stay in my kind of three-stop window as I could. So yeah, that was just my strategy going in, is just putting the bare minimum I could on the hards and just get that out of the way, and then just kind of start clicking off times as I could with the mediums and softs.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it really was great racing for me here tonight, and I mean, some very heartily engaged battles throughout the race here for yourself as well. So, with that being said, I guess any final remarks on your racing evening here today, and any shoutouts you want to send out there to the viewers watching at home.
Yeah, like I said, just want to give a shout out to kind of everyone. It was good racing all around. I know I think I uncharacteristically had my elbows out a little bit, but I was still trying to race as clean and as fair as I could. Like I said, I was like a little tight on the aggressive side just because I knew I had to make some moves when I had to. But yeah, like I said, across the board, I thought it was great racing. And yeah, like I said, shout out to all my teammates, especially Jakey and Bo again, just for helping me out with kind of maximizing my time around here. And then as usual, everyone back at the GT45 Productions, making this all well-oiled machine work, and just everyone back at home, my wife and my daughter, and just kind of give me the support and patience when I say I need to turn some laps tonight and get my strategy down, and they were completely cool with it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's always a pleasure to speak with you here after a great night of racing here in the Pro-Am class. And, well, we'll potentially do it all over again here next week at Nürburgring GP. Thanks for taking some time to come and talk with us. And we'll let you get back to that great clubhouse and go, well, see that great team and that great family you were just talking about, my man. Congratulations on a great racing night.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll see you next week in Germany.
That's right, chat. Germany. We're heading to the Nürburgring GP for round 8 here at Roving Island World Tour 2, and that will start next Monday night. So, but that doesn't mean the content's over from this season yet, from this week yet, because we got one more tomorrow night for our pro class that we missed the last night. But that's a whole new night. Let's move on and talk to our second place finisher. And so close here tonight. Was TT's Egon. He had a much much larger, different strategy than the rest of the field. He went on a very consistent fuel conservation style strategy and saved those hard tires for last. And unfortunately for him, he was just one lap too late. Could not quite hold off the charge of CB Matt, but boy, what a valiant effort. A great defense there coming around that final lap. And I mean, just great racing from you here tonight. That strategy really paid dividends for you here this evening. Talk us through your race, my guy.
Yeah, thank you, Ghost. Wow, yeah, it was what a race. I mean, first of all, props to all the drivers who, um, as ATB just mentioned, we all I think raced really hard today. It's definitely a track of attrition, and we've seen a lot of it. I mean, most of it was very fair racing, except back in the beginning, I was actually moved into the gravel with some help of one friend, maybe I don't know, and that kind of threw my strategy off, which was yes, it was a very unorthodox strategy, but it could have worked. It could have paid off. I've had a few mistakes during the first and of course on the last stint, which was programmed to be on hard tires, which is tough. But I knew it could pay off, and it almost did. Props to CD Matt, man. He fought a very fair last lap with me, and yeah, he literally got the first place one corner to the end. But very fair, very hard racing, very good. But I knew that I didn't have the tires to fight him to the end. So I just wish we had half a lap less. But it was a good race. I had fun.
Absolutely, and I mean, you did have fuel in the tank to go one extra further lap on that final soft stint before you swapped out to the hard tires. Was that just a on the fly call that you made during the race, or was that just exactly how your strategy had been mapped out when you came into the race tonight, and that's just what you stuck with?
Very good point, and very good eye, Ghost. I am not sure I had one lap left. I could have, maybe I would, but at that stage, I was already getting my head into the end game, which is where I'm going to stop and how I'm going to stop. And you're right, I should have stopped one lap later, but I don't think I had enough fuel. I had to push on the third stint pretty hard, and I ended up with a little less fuel that I expected or that I wanted. And you're right, this was all about fuel management with still pushing. It was a good balance of, let's say, riding at 95% and saving 5% of fuel. That I really think it paid at the end. If I didn't have, as I said, that excursion to the gravel where I lost about two positions, I could have finished in front of CB Matt. I don't know, but we don't know how this would have played out in the last laps. He was definitely a lot faster than me. He actually put his nose in a couple of times. He probably even, got a little too close, but it was super fair. Gave me that position back. He was very patient to wait for the right time, and the right time came at the second to last corner where I had no tires. I braked late. I was just going defensive, and one way or the other, CB Matt would get me. But it was a great race and fair racing. So thank you all for the good racing. And I may as well do a shout out to my wife Giselle. That's her birthday today. Giselle, love you. Happy birthday. Your hubby got a very respectable second here, so I'm glad. And I'd like to thank my team as well, TT, for all the help, the support, and of course the sponsors. Thank you, Ghost.
Hey, we appreciate you, my guy, and great racing from you tonight, and big strategy, huge strategy coming from TT Egon here tonight. It almost worked out to perfection, but just falling two corners short here tonight. And he's going to be standing on that second tallest step here tonight, and well, second place finish on a double points round definitely helps his charge up the standings heading into round 8. We appreciate you, and we'll let you get back and go celebrate your wife's birthday on a great racing night here.
Thank you, Ghost. Have a good night.
Cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're definitely no stranger to this gentleman standing on the top step this season, aren't we? Mr. CB Matt from Victory Pace Racing. Very calm, very cool, very collected race here tonight. He was very patient. It looked like he stuck to his strategy right down to the letter, and it paid off with a great race finish here for him. He came out with the better tire on the final stint over the race leader. He reeled him in, got himself into a position to put himself at a chance to win this race. race, and with an absolutely hard-fought battle all the way around the final lap of this racetrack, he got the job done coming into turn 9 and brought it home coming out of Red Bull Mobile after 60 minutes of absolutely hard-fought racing here, all the way from 13th position tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen. So huge congratulations to yourself. Big drive here tonight in this endurance race. How you feeling, and talk us through it?
Yeah, thanks, Ghost. Yeah, feeling great. Obviously, the goal was to move up the pack, get into the podium positions if we can, and stay close to those in the standings that are near to me, and all around we were able to achieve that. So, yeah, I mean, as first of all, congrats to all the other racers, and certainly Egon and Guardian for their podium. This was definitely the most elbows out we've seen, I think, so far this season. You can tell that the double points race meant a lot to everybody. Everybody wanted to maximize that result, but it was good, clean, hard racing. Nothing was dirty. If there was, maybe a little tap that shouldn't have happened. Positions were given right back. Like I just thought it was an all around good, hard fought race.
What we like to call hard fair racing, when the elbows are out like that in a race like we've seen here tonight, and Matt is 100% correct. We've seen positions given back at every ample opportune moment, and I mean, really the big factor here tonight for these racers individually was the track limits, because that's the way it always is here at Red Bull Ring. Again, track officials very strict on their track limits here, and just those little mistakes, just those little braking errors and those little corner errors, and that adds up to total time at the end of the race. And for some races it made a bigger difference than others, but you had a pretty good, clean, consistent race. You kept yourself out of trouble. You really did kind of seem like you were making decisions on when you were going to choose to battle and when you were just going to choose to settle in line and wait for a moment. And I mean, how do you decide, I guess, in the moment when you're battling within a 3 or 4 car pack, when it's time to make that move, when it's time just to sit tight and just wait for something to happen?
Yeah, I think there's some of the real good things about the McLaren, and also some of the downfalls. And on this track, it suffers a little bit on the straightaway, certainly coming out of the slow corners, and starting the straightaways, and it's just really hard to make passes on those straightaways that would normally give you the opportunity to do so. So in that first stint on the hards, honestly, 4 or 5 laps in, I thought that the race was getting away from me, because there was a pack of us. Nobody could really make a move on anybody. We're just kind of chugging along, and it felt like the front runners were taking more time out of us than I had hoped would happen. But yeah, I was just patient, and behind Trone for a little while there, and a couple others, and I just try to wait for to see what where they break and all that sort of stuff, and then you know try to make my move into one of those corners where I know I can break a little later than they do, and set it up so that it's as clean as I can make it, and yeah, like strategy wise, I stuck to my guns. I went the hard, medium, soft, soft. You know, emptied the tank every time, 10 laps on each one, and I knew that if I was anywhere near at the end, I knew I could put in a lap, and when I got past sort of clear of Guardian there in the last couple laps, and I knew I thought I could catch Egon, but it's gonna be close. And my second last lap there, I set the fastest lap I've ever set on this track at like 28.4 or something, and I was a man possessed. Egon snuck one past me last week on my air, so I wanted to get this one really badly, and was able to kind of force a late braking situation in the second last corner, where I knew that on my softs I was going to be able to make that corner easily, and I was able to sneak it out. So yeah, very very pleased.
Absolutely, and it was exactly that. It was, Egon defended for his life on those hard racing tires all through the first 2/3 of that lap, and then you just you set yourself up to make that final dash in the final 2 corners, and exactly as you said, just had a suspicion, knowing that he's on the outside of the corner, meaning he has to go in deeper on the brakes on the slipperier tire. It was going to be a hard corner to manage under so much with so much on the line, and that was exactly the case. Just a little mistake and couldn't hold the corner quite enough and opened the door wide open for you to get through nice and tidy and bring it home for a checkered flag here today. So I don't even know that you're on a podium streak like we wouldn't believe here right now this season. But looking strong in the championship standings. You got a decent little point lead now as we head into round 8 for Nürburgring GP. So how do you feel about next week's track?
Yeah, no, feeling good. Not my favorite track, but I enjoy it. I'm glad that it's a sprint format. I believe next week. Those tracks that wouldn't be my favorites. I prefer the sprint format, just because it kind of gives you that second chance. At some good points if you don't have a real good first or second one. So pleased about that, and obviously pleased about where I'm sitting in the standings. Been on a good run here lately, and getting good points every week since week 3 was a bit of a disaster, and yeah, looking forward to a solid last 3 races of the season. See if we can solidify the top step.
Absolutely, and I mean it's definitely not going to be easy. There are some drivers charging right now to try and get that away from you, but continue this great consistency and the great racing decision making on the racetrack that you have been, especially in the last half of the season here. I think that you're well on your way to securing a championship here at Roving Island, but there's also 13 other drivers behind this driver that's trying to change all that for him here as well, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, I guess any final remarks on your racing evening here this evening, and any shout outs you want to throw out there to the viewers at home?
Yeah, just from a shout out, obviously, thank you, Ghost, you and your team, for putting this league on, for doing comms and running a well-run league. Appreciate it, and thanks for letting us be a part of it. Obviously the team. I didn't get a ton of work on this one this week, but anytime I'm on, the guys are always there, and we're always pushing each other. So certainly thanks to them. Thanks to the rest of the drivers for continuing. We're 6 races in, we're 7 races in now, and it's been clean, hard fought battle, but everybody's respectful, and everybody's always congratulating everybody. So it's fun to be a part of a group of guys like that are rooting for everybody as much as they want themselves to succeed, and yeah, just looking forward to the rest of the season. I know everybody's coming for me, so I gotta keep working and keep putting in the laps, and hopefully we can control our own result.
Absolutely, and well, with only 3 weeks left to go, I mean, he's definitely looking good here in the Pro-Am division, ladies and gentlemen. Out of all 3 classes right now, he is the one with the biggest point lead over the rest of the field. So, CV Matt is currently sitting in the best position here at the Lockdown Championship with only 3 to go. So the chase to the championship starts next week, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you, my guy. We're gonna let you get back to that VPR clubhouse. I can see it rocking from here as they're hooping and hollering, and we'll let you go celebrate with the team. We appreciate you taking some time as always to come speak with us after the race.
Cheers. Thank Ghost.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, great interviews as always from these drivers. They always have great insight, and they always, I mean, they're just so appreciative of their fellow competitors, their teams, their families, and it really is, it really does take a team to make it all work. So with that being said, I want to say thank you to DDR, of course, D-Dot Racing, for supplying the great series, of course, Roving Island World Tour 2 North America Edition, partnered with DMJ Vroom Room and LWR Designs. I'm your host, GT45 Gabe, and I hope everybody always enjoys the commentary and the calls. We do the best we can to get as much of the action as we can, but what we did miss, we'll get back in highlight form next week for everybody to check out. This week's highlights haven't been posted for our Pro-Ams yet. They'll be there later this evening or first thing tomorrow morning, so we appreciate everybody's patience during our maintenance shutdown yesterday. A little bit of an unexpected maintenance shutdown, but needed nonetheless. And we'll be live tomorrow night, probably about 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for our Pro Lobby race that ran last night as scheduled, so we could see what happened in that absolutely stellar Fast Pro division. And, well, I'm not going to give anything away, but it was a pretty good race as well. So, thanks to the admin team behind the scenes as well that keeps going. Race Control, Miss Devious, she's been putting in a ton of hours in behind the scenes, and I really, really am appreciative of all that extra effort she's given to keep things moving and keep the wheels greased behind the scenes as well. The drivers, they show up every week. We don't have drivers, we don't have races to put on the stream. So huge thank you to the drivers, and most importantly to the viewers, you guys and gals at home watching, the families. It's a special thing to have a family get together and just sit down and enjoy something, whether it be a show or a stream or a board game or a book or just a conversation. But we do appreciate all that support from the families at home watching on your big screens. We know you're out there. We really do love it, and we're going to keep cranking out as much good racing action as we can for everybody. So we appreciate y'all. We'll be back tomorrow night again, tentatively for 9 p.m. Eastern time. And if it's going to be any sooner or any later, we'll post it on the page just to keep everybody informed. But we definitely appreciate everybody. We appreciate the supports, the likes, the shares, the comments, as always. The community hanging out with each other in the chat while we're doing our thing here at Red Bull Ring this week. So remember, you all matter, and our doors are always open here. You know, we're always here to listen and have a shoulder to lean on if you need it, or just have a discussion if you need somebody to have a discussion with. But we appreciate y'all. Stay winning, and we'll see you all in the next one.